Stumbling out of bed, and I still got you in my head from all those pretty words you said. It's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am. It's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my mind.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. So today's video is going to be a cleaning, organization, and decluttering motivational video as I focus on my kids' craft room. If you're already to my channel, I do have 3 kids, 7 and under, so a craft room is definitely a must-have in our house because my kids absolutely love arts and crafts. So prior to this room being a craft room, this is actually what was designated as our dining room. So we had it set up as our dining room, had a dining room table in here and everything, and then there came a point that I got tired of clearing off our kitchen table for our kids for meals because our kids were constantly doing arts and crafts out there. Because our dining room, we had a really nice table in here and it just wasn't a place where that we really used. So we decided to change it up and make it into the kids' craft room. So we've since then added some IKEA storage. We've gotten a smaller table that was more appropriate for the space, and got rid of the really nice dining room table that we had because we honestly didn't use it. It wasn't big enough to fit our extended family, so we always used our kitchen anyway. So we decided there was no point having us have this room sit empty when we could use it for something much better for our kids. So today I'm going to go through and clean up the playroom a bit because it's gotten a bit messy because the kids use it all the time since we converted this to a craft room. I want to reorganize a little bit because we've cleared up some space from board games being removed from this room. So I want to clear up some space as well as declutter a bit because, for example, we have one too many coloring books. So I'm going to go through every shelf, every drawer, and declutter it a bit and take you guys along with me. So if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up as that does help my channel a lot. And if you do enjoy today's video along with other content you see here on my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. So don't forget that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you miss any future videos from me. I have tons more organization and decluttering innovation videos coming to my channel. You're not going to miss out, so definitely be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for clicking on my video today and watching, but let's get to this.
I promise that I will stand by you forever, and I won't waste it. I'll follow you, yeah.
The first thing I had to do was I had to clear off this table because I wanted to use this as a main surface that I could start decluttering and organizing everything. So I wanted to get this cleared off first. And we've actually had this table for about 6 months or so. I think we got it in August. And before that we had a larger table. It was more oval shaped and kind of took over a lot of the room. So it was a bit of a challenge to get around, and I felt like it kind of cluttered the space and made the space feel really cramped. So ever since we've had this table, it's been fantastic. It's been easy for the kids to get around, and it just makes the room feel a lot more open.
I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie.
So it took me a couple hours to do the whole entire craft room here, but I wanted to start off with sorting out the markers by color. I don't know why I want to sort them by color, that's just what I felt like doing. And then of course I sorted like all the pencils and together pencil crayons and a bunch of the different fancy erasers and the scissors and everything. So we do have 2 of these. We keep one on the table and I keep one on the shelf. So I like to have some of each color in both of them. The reason we have 2 of them is because when we had the longer table, I had one at each end of the table, but obviously with the round table, we don't need 2 of them on here. So I just have one tucked to the side, and I mean, markers eventually die and have to be thrown out. So this way they have a bunch of the same colors so they can always have different colors to grab at. I want to go through and condense everything into less containers. As you can see, we have a large collection of crayons because my mom did bring over a bunch of crayons that we had at our house from when we were growing up. So we have tons of crayons, we have some extra pencil crayons and tons of markers because I have bought new markers for like birthday parties and stuff, so that way we had no dead markers. So my plan is though, I'm going to actually make a smaller container that we can take with us camping and put in our trailer, so that way we always have some coloring stuff for the kids for when we are camping, because our kids love to draw and color and be creative. So I didn't realize how many different colors of glitter glue that we had, but we do have a good variety, and I personally prefer glitter glue over actual glitter because it makes way less of a mess. As I talk to any other mom, they hate glitter. So glitter glue, it sticks together and doesn't get all over the floor and doesn't make a big mess. And then also those large cans are actually paint. They're powder tempera paint. So they take a very little amount of powder, you mix it with water, we use baby food jars, and the paint lasts quite a while. So that's actually paint that my parents bought. I think it was for $2.49 it said on the can, but they bought that in like the 90s. So it's obviously lasted really well and been worth every penny. So my parents gave it to us, so now we use that with our kids.
I am running for you. I am running for you.
Once I had gone through all that, I had everything out on the table, on the floor, and I wanted to give the shelves a bit of a wipe. These are white floating shelves from IKEA. They're the same ones that we have in the playroom that we recently put up. So we really like them. So I kind of want to just reorganize a little bit. I got rid of some stuff that was on them so they're not as cluttered. And we used to have our board games on these shelves, and now they're in the playroom with the rest of the board games. So it's freed up some space. So I feel like the space at the end is not super cluttered. It's nice and organized. And I try to put stuff on this bottom shelf here for the kids to be able to immediately access, like the Play-Doh and stuff. Anything that's kind of extra that they don't need access to right away goes up on the higher shelves. Here's a little tip for you. If you use the Kirkland dishwasher tabs, those containers make great storage containers for little things. Like I have a bunch of baby food jars in it, but you can use it for crayons or pencil crayons or little erasers or anything like that.
Small talk, big thoughts.
So I have some random shoe boxes and containers of pencil crayons, pencils, paints and stuff like that. This is all things that my mom has actually gone through in her house and brought over to my house. So I'm just going through it to kind of sort things by category, because I just like to keep things categorized because I find it makes it easier to find things when you're trying to look for something specific.
Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change. Let's get out of here. We'll never look back. This is our time. We're leaving at midnight.
Next, I wanted to go through the shelving unit. So the shelving unit is from IKEA. I like it because, so it's 5 different individual shelving units, but what I like about it is that you can use shelves or bins. So like you could also use bigger bins that are double deep than those ones. So we have some parts that we use for shelves and some for bins, and it's worked really, really well for us. Makes it easy for the kids to grab things. So I want to go through this because, like, for example, the bin with the stickers in it was a bit of a disaster. The paper was a bit of a mess, and I wanted to go through to see what activity books, coloring books, and that sort of thing that we had. Any extra coloring books I'm actually taking out of here, and I'm going to put them in a bin to put in the trailer so that the kids have some coloring books to color with on our trips. I might also take some construction paper as well and throw that in a bin as well for the trailer, but we'll see. But I want to go through, give everything a bit of a wipe, and just kind of go through every bin, because after a while, as kids use the supplies, which I think is great that they do, things kind of get out of place and just to become a bit of a disaster. So I just like to clean it up once in a while just to give it a fresh new look, and then everything is back in its spot.
Take my hand and follow me. Baby, we're leaving midnight. It's time for a change. Let's get out of here. We'll never look back. This is our time.
So this room is actually the dining room. So when we were looking for a house, I had my heart set on having a house with a dining room. We had a beautiful dining room set. We had the hutch and to hold my china and my crystal and everything, and we had a nice dining room table and nice chairs, and I just wanted a place to put it, and I had envisioned having family dinners in the dining room and everything else. Well, after moving to this house, we discovered that the dining room just was not large enough to fit our extended family, because both of us have our families that both live here, so our extended families both come for dinner, and we have, say, 10 to 15 people for dinner. So we end up using our kitchen, which has a larger table and a larger eating space, and not using the dining room. The dining room ended up being a space where we dumped everything because it was a darker room. It's kind of hidden away, so you don't really see it. So that's where I felt like I could put things that I need to deal with later. Well, then as the kids were getting older, they were starting to do more arts and crafts, and they were using the kitchen table for it. And then every time we wanted to eat dinner or lunch or whatever, we had to clear everything off for the meal. Well, I got tired of doing that. So then I thought, hey, why don't we make it so that the kids can do their arts and crafts in the dining room? because we don't really use the dining room as a dining room. So then it started off with putting a bed sheet on the table to protect it. It slowly started with putting their arts and crafts stuff in there, and then it's something more evolved. The kids started doing arts and crafts more, I think because things were more accessible. So then we got these IKEA shelves, and from there it just expanded. The kids were able to be more creative. They could access all the arts and crafts they wanted to, and it was honestly the best thing we ever did. So I'm so glad that we did it. Now it's been like this for I think a year and a half, and it's been the best thing ever. So I just want to share that with you guys, because if you do have a dining room and you feel like you don't really use it, don't be afraid to repurpose it or do something different with it. If you know, nowadays, you know, a lot of people don't have a dining room anymore. If you look at newer houses, they don't have a dining room. So this was the greatest thing we ever did for our kids. Our kids use it all the time. So just an idea for you guys: you have a dining room kind of sitting there taking up clutter, or just being a junk collector or whatever, maybe repurpose it into a craft room for your kids. That might be a great way to use space, or a homework space or whatever. Eventually we might put desks in here for the kids to do their homework, but for now it's a craft space because their kids are young. So I just want to share that with you guys. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope it provides you with some motivation to clean, organize, and declutter a space in your home. Let me know in the comments below if you are working on decluttering and organizing a space in your home. This is often something that a lot of people do in the month of January because they feel like they can kickstart the year with some decluttering and reorganizing. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did enjoy today's video, along with other content you see here on my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. So don't forget that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you miss any future videos from me. And I have a ton more organizing and decluttering motivation coming up for you guys, as I'm working on hitting up every single room and space in my house. So definitely stay tuned for that. You're not going to miss out on that motivation. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and are having a great start to the new year. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and checking out my video. I appreciate your support so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.